For the record, I'm done trying to make y'all comfortable. For the record, lab on me going all the way. For the record, ain't trying to link, no time to waste. For the record, for the record.
Good morning everybody. Dylan K. Johnson here. Welcome back to a new video and in fact the start of a new series. So I am officially going to be getting back into the swing of things in terms of working out and starting to kind of build up off of what I've been doing over the past couple weeks. So if you caught my previous video, which was a few weeks ago, kind of my first workout post-appendectomy, I was still doing basically just bare minimum, just enough to kind of get by and just kind of keep myself active essentially. But as of today, well, as of 2 days ago, as of Saturday, I am about 5 weeks post-appendectomy, post-op, and it's pretty much at the point where I'm cleared to start getting back into my usual routine of what I was doing, start to be able to push myself a little bit more, and basically it's time to really start putting the foot down and getting the pedal to the metal, as it were, and get this diet going, because I have just been kind of doing, like I said, bare minimum essentially over the past couple weeks. And actually what I've really been doing is I've actually been doing more of what would be considered a transitional phase, or more like a devolume or deload. So instead of just kind of going in with no real direction or anything like that, I've been doing very similar movements to what I'm planning to be doing the start of this program, this first block, over the past couple weeks. And I might throw up a few clips as I'm talking here right now. But with them, I was keeping the volume and the weight very minimal. So the same as what you would do if you were doing, say, a deload or a devolume, as I like to call it. The joys of a garage gym sometimes when you're trying to record audio. But yeah, that's pretty much the gist of what I was doing over the past 2 weeks. That way I could kind of reacclimate my body to lifting again. So that way, when I started right out the gate, if I were to just kind of go from doing nothing over the past 4 weeks or so to starting to lift, I wouldn't be able to move barely the next couple of days. I mean, I'm sure some of you guys have done that before, where maybe you were sick for a week or two, you go back into the gym and you try and pick up right where you left off. The next couple of days, you're definitely starting to regret that a little bit, especially after leg days. So that's pretty much been what I've tried to do over the past couple of weeks. And now today, Monday, what is today? Monday, June 28th, I am going to be starting the first push workout of my new program, which is going to be focused primarily on chest, triceps, and shoulders. So without further ado, the gym right now is a bit of a nightmare. So I got to get this cleaned up. I got to hit my cardio warm up, do some mobility warm up stuff, kind of dynamic stretching, that kind of stuff. And then we're going to jump right into it with first movement being incline shoulder saver Buffalo bar bench press. Say that 5 times fast. But like I said, clean up, warm up, let's go.
All right, guys, so jumping into the workout with today, we are starting off, like I was talking about, with the incline Buffalo bar shoulder saver bench press. Say that 5 times fast. But as I'm going through the warm-up here, I'm going to talk a little bit about why I'm using this specific variation. So for me, the Buffalo bar, I really like the way the camber of it feels on my shoulders and my wrist, which is the main reason that I like using it for pressing movements such as bench. However, on incline in particular, I tend to have shoulder issues if I go past what would be considered like touching my chest with a standard bar. So that's why I started implementing the shoulder saver, and it's just basically to limit the range of motion so that I'm basically getting all the benefit of the camber on my wrists and shoulders, but I'm not getting that extra extended range of motion from the Buffalo bar. So here, just working up to 3 top sets at that 72.5 kilograms, I believe, or whatever this is. I don't remember exactly. 20, 40, 50, 60, 65, 67.5. I don't know. Whatever it is. Anyway, working up to 3 sets at 6 to 8 reps ideally, and all of those trying to target a RIR, or a reps in reserve, of at round 2 to 3, meaning that by the time I finish and re-rack the weight, I had at least 2, if not 3, good reps left in the tank that I could have still performed. So basically what that means is good reps with good form, not just like doing anything I can to get out the rep. It's not RPE, it's RIR. So if you guys don't know what those terminologies are, I would suggest just doing a search on YouTube. There's a lot of really good information out there that compares the two of them and exactly goes into more detail of exactly what they are. So finished that off, moved into some seated cable flies using the Prime Fitness rotate handles. 3 sets here, targeting 12 to 15 reps per set. And same thing here, trying to keep the RIR around 3-ish. With this movement, really just allowing myself to stretch at the bottom, stretch out that chest, squeezing forward and driving through the pinkies. Really like these handle attachments for flying and pressing movements like this. They just feel extremely unique compared to standard handles, and they're just something that I would highly recommend you guys give a shot if you have access to them, or even just pick them up if you can find them for sale anywhere. Usually they're like $120 new plus shipping. But anyway, moving on, this is a new movement for me. So as you guys can see, these are actually a new piece of equipment that I have in the gym. These are the Rogue 50 cal lever arms, and I'm going to be doing a review on them and kind of a whole unboxing video that I have filmed in the future. Right now, I just got them in last week, so I've only been experimenting with them for maybe like 4 days now by the time I film this video, and they are going to be a ton of fun to start implementing. I've already figured out at least 3 to 4 different movements that you'll see throughout my program that I started to implement, and I will be implementing, that are really close mimics to hammer strength machines that I basically just can't find used for an affordable price, and I wouldn't be able to fit in my garage here. So these are going to be an invaluable resource to kind of replicate those machine-based pressing, pulling, any kind of machine-based movement, and I'm really excited to start incorporating them into my workouts. So yeah. Moving on, we're going to be doing a shoulder exercise here. Oh, on that one, I did 3 sets of around 8 to 10 reps. And then I moved into some cable lying lateral raises. Now you can either do these flat on the ground, or what I like to do, as you can see here, using a very low incline bench. I like to do that just so that I can have my hands clear my torso, and it also puts a little bit more emphasis onto the lateral head and the front head of the delt, which I am putting a lot of emphasis on the rear head of the delt during my back days, so I'm trying to target the lateral and front head a little bit more with these push days. But yeah, with that one, 3 sets, 12 to 15 reps. All of these exercises, I'm trying to keep it around a 3 RIR in terms of the intensity, and that's pretty much what I'm going to be doing for every single exercise this week, except for maybe a select few, and I'll go over those when I actually get to them, but for the most part, that's kind of what I'm working with and working around. So finished that off, did some seated dumbbell overhead extensions, same kind of deal, around 8 to 12 reps, then moved into some cable upright rows. Now, this is one that I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do specifically for this movement, like what handle, what grip attachment I want. I like using this kind of DIY PVC pipe handle that I made here. However, it is a little bit flimsy, so we'll have to see. I might end up kind of trying to either DIY something a little better or just switching this out. But overall, that was the workout. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Let's get back to the rest of the video. Alright, so that's going to be pretty much it for today's workout. I do still have to do core, but little man here is getting pretty fussy, so I gotta go in and change him, feed him, all that usual stuff because the wife is still sleeping. And yeah, I'll probably end up doing core maybe later tonight. Something that I'm trying to work on just about every single night throughout the duration of this cut is incorporating a little bit of stretching, at least 10 to 15 minutes a day, probably like just before I head to bed. So I'll do my
abs when I do that. And then I'm also trying to play around with doing vacuums every day, probably like just when I'm in the shower or something like that, just like 3 or 4 rounds of like 30 seconds ish, or as long as I can hold my breath and hold that vacuum. And the other thing I'm going to be potentially playing around with is just doing like 30 standing calf raises, like 3 sets of 30, just 10 each toe position, turned in, straight, and turned out. Just kind of like right before I go to bed, or just sometime throughout the day as well, just to kind of, again, work on those calves a little bit, just play around with it, see how it feels, and just kind of see what happens to it. So yeah, apart from that, I gotta go in and get breakfast, get cleaned up, and then I gotta get to work later on today. I do want to try and get my wife to help me take some measurements, just kind of like basic starting measurements, arms, chest, waist, legs, calves, neck, that kind of stuff. And then that way I can maybe like once a month, or at least like at the start of every single block, because there's gonna be 3 blocks throughout the duration of this program, I'd like to redo the measurements and just kind of see how I'm progressing throughout the duration of this cut. I should also mention, I didn't cover this earlier, that my starting weight, so today, is about 189 pounds. Now, technically, I've actually been like in a deficit, so dieting down, for a little over a month and a half now, and my starting weight originally was about 202. So I'm actually down total like around 12 to 14 pounds consistently, which for barely doing any kind of working out, anything like that, is really great, just in terms of myself, because I haven't been doing any cardio. I've just been trying to keep up like my NEAT, my non-exercise activity thermogenesis, throughout the day by just kind of doing a lot of walking, steps, things like that. We've been taking him on walks like at least once a day, maybe like a mile total, 3-ish laps around the block, which is about a mile of walking. And just trying to keep like my daily step total between 7,500 to 10,000, and that way I don't have to implement cardio too soon, and I don't have to cut my calories too drastically, because right now I think I'm sitting at about 2,800 to 3,000 calories a day, and that's kind of where I have been. I've been actually a little bit higher, around 3,000 calories over the past month and a half, and I've still been losing weight. So I've kind of stalled out this last week, but we'll have to see with kind of increasing the amount of workload that I'm doing in the gym. I'm not going to change my calories this week, or at least I didn't change them, just to make sure that it is actually me stalling out and it's not just the need to increase cardio or decrease calories. Hopefully that makes sense. I'll do a dedicated video to calories, macro counting, all that stuff in the future. But for right now, I am rambling. I am sweating. It's got to be about 90 degrees in the garage right now. Today it's supposed to get over like 104 degrees outside, so I'm glad I got my workout in early in the morning while it's still relatively cool. And yeah, gotta go get some food, gotta get him changed, fed, cleaned up, all that fun stuff, and I gotta get to work. So I will check in with you guys later.
On track, now we gon' way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Pray up. On track, now we gon' way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. On track, now we gon' way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. Keep the same energy. Work on being better when I'm 70. Your drip is just a water spring. You know I drip different, this the 7 C's. I deal with life different, make that lemon squeeze. Went off for my style and identity. Better bounce back and get the cheddar cheese. I guess that's why they envy me. On track, now we gon' way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Pray up. On track, now we gon' way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. On track, now we gon' way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. I got his band like I'm Barry Bonds. Running through the money, but the money's long. I don't love it, but I need it, keep it coming on. Only friendly, me and friends, we don't get along. I put that on my name, that I put them on. I put myself on stage and say sing along. I might book a session, do 100 songs. I'ma let you hear them just to prove you wrong. On track, now we gon' way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Way up, pray up. On track, now we gon' way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. On track, now we gon' way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going.
All right, so just finished up the workout. This was day 2 of the first week back. It was a pull focus workout, primarily focused on back and biceps with some rear delts thrown in there as well. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that kind of little B-roll edit of it. I'm not sure how I'm gonna really structure these videos going forward. The biggest things, I'm just gonna use them as kind of like my accountability to maintaining this diet for the next 12, 14-ish weeks, however long it is until we head to Jamaica, and then we'll see how far I go past that, because I know I'm not gonna have enough time between now and then unless I were to like do super crazy stuff like cardio twice a day, that kind of stuff, to get like really lean. But I would like to get kind of like comfortable beach lean is my goal kind of by that time. And then we'll see after we get back how far I push it past that, if I want to keep going, if I want to do a show, anything like that. We'll have to see. But for the most part, I'm just going to be focusing on losing like another 15-ish pounds is kind of my goal over the course of the next 14, 15 weeks. So as I was saying, I lost track of what I was saying. My brain just kind of lost my train of thought. With today's workout, felt amazing. One thing right now, I don't know how many parts of the country are experiencing this week, but we are experiencing like record high heats. It's currently like 102 to 105 degrees outside. Tomorrow it's supposed to be like 108 to 110. And I absolutely love this. I friggin' love this heat. My wife says it's because I'm from Hawaii. Maybe, maybe not, I don't know. I just love the heat. We only get like 2 weeks a year of these kind of really high, hot days. And I am gonna be fully taking advantage of them over the couple of weeks that we have them. Trying to work out like around 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And yeah, just trying to sweat as much as possible, because it just is, it's for me an incredible feeling. I absolutely love it. If I could, I would keep the gym probably like right around 85, 90 degrees year round. That would be like my ideal working out temperature, just hot enough to where it's like you're sweating constantly, but it's not hot enough to where it like super saps your energy. Cause like you guys know, once you start getting over about like 90, 95 degrees, 100 degrees, you just step out and it's just like a heavy weight of heat that just kind of saps all your energy, at least for me. Versus like that kind of 90 degree, 85 degrees, like that sweet spot where it's like, it's hot, but it feels good. You can get a really good pump super easily. And yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I just love the heat. My wife hates it. I know a lot of you guys like down south, Texas, Florida, Southern California, all that kind of stuff. I know all you guys do like everything you can to get out of the heat. You guys install like mini splits in your garages and stuff like that, but no, I'm taking full advantage of it while we have it, because the rest of the year, it's pretty cold around here. So anyway, I am gonna kind of do an overlay or just talk over real quick. I'm gonna do a posing update, mainly just focused on my upper body post-workout, so you guys can kind of see like my starting point. I don't remember if I mentioned it earlier in the video, but I weighed in yesterday at about 189.6-ish pounds. And then last night, my wife and I had a little bit of a kind of date night cheat meal. We had like some steak and mashed potatoes, and then we had split a pint of ice cream each with half a brownie. So I did kind of try to account for it by cutting out 2 of my higher fat meals to just kind of fit that in, but still nothing crazy. Weighed in this morning at about 189.4 pounds, so right around the same weight. So yeah, overall, not too concerned with it. However, going forward, I'm gonna be trying to stick to my main calorie, or stick to my calories that I'm counting. Bleh. Going forward, I'm gonna be trying to count my calories and stick to my meal plan as much as possible. No more real cheat meals unless I need a refeed for some reason, which I shouldn't for a couple weeks to a month or 2 at the most. But yeah, My goal is still to lose like around 15 pounds. I know that by the time we go to Jamaica, like in the middle of September, I'm not gonna have enough time between now and then to get like stage ready, but I would like to get like kind of beach ready, I should say. Get to the point where I'm like maybe right around like 8 to 10% body fat, nothing super crazy. I'm probably sitting at like around 16 to 18 right now is my guess. I'd like to get to that like 10-ish% body fat, maybe drop it down a little bit lower. But at the same time, I don't want to be doing anything crazy with my diet, with my nutrition, with my cardio to really risk losing a lot of muscle. So that's kind of where I'm at. And then once we get back from Jamaica, we'll see if I want to keep pushing myself further, if I want to try and get down really, really lean and see if there's maybe a show around me and do like a physique show or something, or I don't know, we'll have to see. I've got a lot of weight to lose, especially around my mid area, right around my core. And the nice thing is, as I kind of talked about before, I actually started my deficit, started dieting down about 6 weeks ago. So like literally just before my appendectomy. And with that, I haven't been doing much of anything in terms of like cardio or really even like working out over the past like 5 weeks because of the appendectomy. So between now and then, I've still managed to lose about 12 pounds, which, yeah, a lot of it was partially water weight, but still, I was starting the diet at around 202-ish, so I've lost consistently around 12 to 13, 14 pounds, which is awesome because, like I said, I haven't incorporated any cardio beyond trying to do like walks around the neighborhood in the evening just to keep my steps up a little bit, take Ollie for a walk, go with the wife and go just walk around the neighborhood, or like 5 minutes of cardio warming up before my workouts. Beyond that, I haven't incorporated a single steady state, interval, high intensity, any kind of cardio session at all. So that's really promising from that aspect. And then in terms of my diet and nutrition, I'll do a full detailed video on it in the future, but I've been sitting at about 3,000 calories this entire time. So I haven't dropped my calories and I've still been dropping weight, which is, again, really, really cool. So that means that just by starting to really push myself and working out again, I should be able to kind of continue that trend of losing weight without needing to either drop my calories or incorporate cardio. So I'm gonna just continue this trend, see if I can go as far as I can push it with what I'm currently doing, and see where I can kind of hit that plateau again of like starting to not lose weight anymore for at least a week. And then from there, I'll assess whether I want to start incorporating cardio or start dropping my calories, because that's the two ways that I can continue to lose weight if I do stall out. So yeah, overall, feeling good. I am drenched. I probably lost like 5 pounds just in water weight. I've got to make sure that I drink and stay hydrated today. Feeling good, happy to be working out again. And yeah, I'm just in a really good mood. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I'm probably gonna end it here. I know I said that I was gonna do some measurements, but I do wanna do those before I work out, which is probably not gonna happen until maybe this weekend. And I'm also thinking about doing one of those like body fat testing things. A couple of our local supplement shops, they have those in-body machines and they let you go in and test yourself for free. So I might look at doing that maybe like once a month or like every couple weeks or every weekend or something when I go shopping. So yeah, we'll do that. Maybe at the very least, I do want to get my measurements just so I can have a running record of what's happening with my body. Helps me to keep track and helps me to gather more data on what is working and what isn't working. So anyway, that's gonna be it. Like I said, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Would really appreciate it if you guys could hit that like button. It definitely helps out, helps show your support for the channel. And go ahead and subscribe if you wanna stay up to date on all the videos that are gonna be coming in the future. As you guys have seen in this video alone, I've got several new pieces in the garage here that I'm going to be going over soon. Things like the Concept 2 rower. I got in the Rogue 50 cal trolley systems, Monster Light version. I don't know if you can see it over here, probably not. I got in a Boneyard deadlift bar, Rogue Ohio Boneyard deadlift bar. And yeah, I do also still need to do some review videos on a bunch of other stuff that I've kind of got in the works. So yeah, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, maybe ring that bell to be notified when the videos go live. And as always, thank you guys for watching. I will see you all in the next one. Bye.